Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anna Coker, and today I am going to be advocating for student loan forgiveness. Today I have my aunt and my grandma as my audiences. A lot of people don't know, but over 43 million Americans owe more than $1.7 trillion in federal student loan debt. And the average borrower usually owes about $30,000, and that's a lot of money. Student loans delay major milestones in life. For example, buying a house, family formation, and retirement savings. And the big thing is your retirement savings. You need something to fall back on when you retire because Social Security is not much. The burden is disproportionately because it affects the low-income individuals and families and the communities of color. While the U.S. government does have programs like the Public Service Loan Forgiveness and the income-driven repayment plans, they're very slow, you're not guaranteed to get in, and they're complex. They also have temporary relief measures, but they have faced legal challenges for that, and they lack permanence, and it creates an uncertain future for millions of borrowers. So that's a risky risk. That's a risky risk to take. My proposal for this policy change is to cancel up to $50,000 in federal student loans per borrower. So you're a college student. If you're a college student, then you don't have to pay all of it because $50,000 will be deducted from your student loans, and you just have to pay the remainder. I also want to implement tuition-free public college education for all future students. So people will have an opportunity to go to college without paying, and it will be a public college. And together, these changes will aim to address both the symptoms and the root causes of the student debt crisis. A lot of people don't know it is a crisis. The policymakers that I intend to target are the U.S. Secretary of Education and the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. My strategic actions are to distribute a detailed policy that is briefly grounded in verifiable research, and to organize with student advocacy groups and policy institutions, as well as launch multimedia public awareness campaigns. I think that it's very important to get the word out on what you're advocating for. And also to testify as relevant legislative hearings and education forums. Really just push the problem out there so everyone can see. Because a lot of people struggle with it. It's just not college students and young people. People in their 50s owe student loans. And I think that this would be a big help to everyone. There's also been numerous studies that provide support for this proposal. The default rates, they continue to climb, especially among the black communities. And, not just black communities, but other communities in general. And those who attend for-profit institutions. From an economic perspective, forgiving student loan debt would increase the GDP and reduce unemployment. There'll be more opportunities to have jobs because everyone will have an education. Internationally, countries with fee or lower cost public education systems have seen improved equality and social mobility. On the individual level, personally, it will relieve financial stress and it increases consumer spending. So less stress, and you can spend more because you don't have loans to pay back, or you don't have all of the loan to pay back. And it broadens access to higher education. So those who are less fortunate will have an opportunity to get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. It enhances economic productivity, and it narrows racial and socioeconomic wealth gaps. So the low-income people have the same opportunities as the higher-income people. And it just doesn't affect the blacks, it affects all races. And it encourages the workforce to participate in things and innovation. There is a cost. There's a cost to everything. And the estimated cost can be funded through modest tax increases. So increase tax on goods and the tax that comes out of your paycheck, mainly on the wealthy. And you could also do this by reallocating existing spending. There is a moral hazard, though. The tuition-free public colleges would eliminate future student debt burdens, and it's solving the issue at its source. So that's really where you need to target. And the student loan forgiveness is disproportionately benefits those who were at a disadvantage by the current system, and it's making it an issue of justice and economic recovery. So if we do this, it will be fair to everyone. Everyone will have an opportunity to further their education. And my sources for this was Husselman. It was written in 2019. That was the author. And the title is Debt to Society, The Case for Bold, Equitable Student Loan Cancellations and Reform. It's on the website Demos. And there's an Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and that was written in 2022, and the title to that is Education at a Glance. It's by the OECD. I have another one by Scott Clayton, or Clayton Scott, and it was written in 2018, and it's called The Looming Student Loan Default Crisis is Worse Than We Thought. My last one is Hansen, and it's called The Effects of Canceling Student Loan Debt. Thank you for joining me today.
I have a question.
I'm sorry, I forgot. She has a question.
So, thinking about student debt, and you said, how it affects the different communities, especially the low income. Do you think, and in your research, that if these low income communities knew that there was options out there for forgiveness on their debts, that they would be more apt to go for a higher education than not an education at all, or just settling for a trade school?
Well, I think it depends on the person. If a person has high goals but they can't achieve it because of their financial standpoint, then I think that this would be a great opportunity for them. I can't speak for everyone because there's lazy people out there, but I think that if they had the opportunity, they would probably take it, especially in this economy. Everything's sky high, and the higher education you have, the more you get paid and the more money you make. So that's my take on that. Do you have a question? Or no?
No.
Okay. Well, that's all, and thank you for joining me.